Wonderful viewers and subscribers, welcome back to the channel. I don't know, it's about SAE. Press upon yourself and thank you all for being here. So, what I really want to zoom in on today, guys, I know a lot of people are keeping their West Indies T20 squad to play in the 2026 World Cup, right? And in today's video, guys, I'm here to really zoom in on some players who might come in as a surprise pick, or some players that people write off might get picked. Who knows? But my people, if it's the first time on the channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on the post notification bell to be the first alerted whenever a new video is uploaded. So, you know what, West Indies potential T20 squad is already in black and white, guys. If you've been following West Indies cricket, you already know that these guys are should I say 15 guys are already a sure pick on this West Indies team unless injury prevent them from being selected. So we're gonna zoom in on some wild card picks in terms of other players who might get a look in, who people never think would have got a look in for this T20 World Cup. Let's track back a little bit. I think in one statement I heard Aaron Sammy said the youths are the future, right? So they're trying to invest in more youngsters, right? So I'm gonna go with the first young pick that I think West Indies or Darren Sammy might opt for. He has shown a little glimpse in the CPL. Um, he went on a tour, I think, and he scored a 50, I think, on T20 debut or something like that. I'm talking no other than Akeem Auguste. I think this young man could be a surprise pick in this West Indies T20 World Cup squad. He's a good option for an opening batsman or middle order batter as well. And he's young, so potential looking great. So Darren Sammy might roll the dice and say, all right, you know, um, uh, he's young, and so we can give him an opportunity and see how we go about doing things, and it's giving him experience because he has been knocking down the door, in a couple of matches. So expect him might get a little look in. I'm not certain that he will, but I'm just giving my wild cards and who I think might get a look in. All right, so moving on to the second player that I think Darren Sammy might pick, and a lot of people are gonna argue with me about this one is Johnson Charles. Yes, my people, the veteran Johnson Charles have a chance at making this squad. Darren Sammy is picking the team, and Johnson Charles is an experienced player in terms of opening the batting and so forth. So, he's one that people have crossed in terms of have a 10 or banking that any dice can roll. He can select that Johnson Charles for his last T20 World Cup or not, but a lot of people think that they will select him because people have negative opinion to say about Darren Sammy and Johnson Charles in terms of country and history. You understand? A lot of people believe that because Johnson Charles is from St. Lucia and Darren Sammy is from St. Lucia. Even Akeem Auguste is from St. Lucia. Darren Sammy might say, all right, let's give my countryman opportunities, our countrymen's opportunity. But Darren Sammy already made it clear to you guys that he deal with fairness. He's not go pick somebody because they're from his hometown or his home country. I understand he's working off performances. So that's two players I think as a wild card pick. Let's see if I can roll my head. I'm thinking Shamar Springer. And why would I name Shamar Springer? He has played just two T20 matches or three, right? But I have seen a glimpse of a proper or upcoming all-rounder in Shamar Springer. He was tipped to replace Jason Ola as West Indies Premier our investment all-rounder, you understand? But things happen and he never really retained his position from the previous time after West Indies T20 and a team operate, guys. They switch players regularly because once you're not performing, you're gonna get dropped. So the team is never a team where it's consistent in a bunch of players, but a regular switch up because we're still trying to find the chemistry or the formula to be dominant once again. So, chip and change there and there, So the team is always going to be in a rebuilding phase. But those three that I mentioned, guys, Chance Charles, Akeem Auguste, and Shamar Springer, I think they have opportunity of mo- making the side. You understand? Shamar Springer, as I said, a good all rounder, so they might have him as a backup in terms of Jason Ola or Romara Shepherd because these guys are all rounders and he can bowl and bat as well. That's what intrigue people. He's not just a pure just bowler or all rounder. He can bat and bowl. And he can be consistent in his batting as well. So you're gonna look at it and you're gonna say, sorry about that. You're gonna look at it and you're gonna say, can I give this person an opportunity or not as a wild card, or should I say as a reserve? Another player that I think, based on the pitches, they played what India, is it India and Sri Lanka? Oh, isn't it something like that? So spinners might play a little role in it. We know we have two frontline spinners, Gulakish Moti and Akil Hussein, but I'm gonna throw in a wild card in Yannick Carrier. Remember, guys, these are just wild cards, Not definitely. A matter of fact, Yannick Carrier has been out of the picture for a while. I haven't heard anything about him, so let's pause on him. I'm talking Fabian Allen as another all-round option and also a good finger spinner who hasn't really found himself back as yet, in the West Indies permanent colours in terms of constantly being a part of the West Indies squad. He has been fighting, injuries and playing leagues, and his form hasn't really improved, or he's just not the same Allen that we saw a couple of years ago. So he's one that still in the working phase, but I think he's a good option as well for a spinner, backup spinner, because you want to go with an extra spinner, in the team. I talk about the left arm pacers now. You have three option guys. I'm going to go for Obed Mackay. Yes, my people, I think Obed Mackay might surprise his inclusion. Once he's fit and healthy, he's a better choice than a Raman Simmons or a Jataya Blade, even though those two are younger. But I still think Obed Mackay is a better choice in my opinion. Everybody have their favorites and everybody give their opinion. But I think Obed Mackay, he can warrant a place with his left arm variation. I think he can do damage over there in India, and I think Sri Lanka, that's where the World Cup will be held, I think. So in a sense, those are what, 6 or 5 players I name, guys. Let's see: Akeem Auguste, Johnson Charles, Fabian Allen, Shamar Springer, Yannick Carrier. But as I said, people, leave your thoughts. Like, these are just 5 guys 5 to 6 guys I can come up with off the top of my head, guys. So leave any other option in the comment section and explain why you think they could make a surprise entry into the West Indies T20 squad.